Revelation 4441. From the 24th of September 1948. Extent of the work of destruction. The extent of the act of destruction as a result of God's will is as yet inconceivable to you humans, for it will surpass anything that has ever happened before. Countries and oceans will change, rivers will burst their banks, and thus scenes will be created which make people believe that they have been transported into other regions, which in itself will cause indescribable chaos because people will no longer be able to find each other. They will restlessly wander about until strong-minded people try to establish order and take care of the weak. The adversity will be so great that it can only be endured by love, and where one will actively help the other, relief and help will soon be felt, which will clearly be granted to them from above. Thus, anyone who turns to God and calls upon Him in his heart will receive help, for God will then so clearly demonstrate His love and omnipotence that those of little faith will find it easy to gain a firm belief. And this time is a time of grace for the unbeliever, when he can still easily change himself in view of the occurrences which are based on the strength of faith. These occurrences will provide food for thought to everyone, yet only someone willing to believe will derive benefit from it, whereas the others will only ever speak of coincidences and face the immense adversity embittered, rejecting a creator or condemning his actions. The magnitude of the disaster cannot bring them to their senses. They will try to find a natural explanation for everything and entirely reject spiritual correlations. They also remain hard and insensitive towards their fellow human beings' experiences and won't shy away from improving their own situation at the expense of people who are too weak to defend themselves. There will be hardship wherever God has spoken, and He will speak wherever the spiritual adversity is greatest, so that the survivors will receive a warning signal which will enable them to utilize the time until the end, and to also bring the people of the unaffected countries to their senses in view of the disaster which is too immense to be ignored. For the whole of humanity will be gripped by fear that the natural disaster might repeat itself and result in complete destruction of the earth. This will in fact happen, but not immediately after the natural disaster. All the same, this fear is beneficial for many people, since the thought of a sudden end and a life after death will come alive in many of them and can result in a change of lifestyle. The world will helpfully want to intervene, yet won't be able to help as much as is needed. Nevertheless, every human being who is willing to love and help will be blessed by God, for the immense adversity will come upon people so that they will soften their hearts and do justice to their actual task of being lovingly active on earth in order to attain spiritual maturity. As long as people only provide for themselves, they are selfish and won't progress spiritually. But their fellow human beings' hardship can awaken their kind-hearted activity, and then they will comply with God's will and thus their earthly task. And then even the most severe hardship will be a blessing and will fulfill its purpose. Amen.